If you don't sleep for 24 hours, you're already legally impaired. By 48 hours, your brain will start shutting itself off while you're still awake. By day 3, you will see things that aren't real. And if you keep going, your own brain cells will begin to eat themselves. This is not a horror story. This is what happens when humans don't sleep. The first 24 hours are a lie. You feel great. In fact, you feel better than great. You've hit what scientists call the second wind, but it's actually a desperate chemical bribe from your brain. Your body is flooding you with dopamine and adrenaline because it thinks you're in a life or death survival situation. You're productive, you're talkative, you're crushing it. But beneath the surface, your blood chemistry is transforming. Your glucose metabolism is crashing. Your immune system is starting to stagger. If you were to get behind the wheel of a car right now, you would be just as dangerous as a drunk driver with a 0.10 blood alcohol level. You are legally wasted on nothing but your own consciousness. In the first 24 hours, Randy Gardner experienced blurry vision, minor irritability, and cognitive impairment similar to being legally drunk. Just for the knowledge who don't know Randy Gardner, he is an American man from San Diego, California, who held the world record for the longest amount of time a human has gone without sleep. But you keep going. You push into the 48-hour mark, and that's when the glitches start. You're standing in your kitchen, and for 3 seconds, the world disappears. You didn't blink. You didn't fall. Your brain simply hijacked your body and performed a micronap. Your eyes were wide open, but your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that makes you you, just toggled the off switch. In those 3 seconds, you are a hollow shell. If you're walking, you keep walking. If you're talking, you start slurring nonsense. Your brain is now an assassin, stealing time from you behind your back. By the 48-hour mark, Gardner began to lose his depth perception, developed a thick tongue that made speech difficult, and struggled with short-term memory lapses. As you crawl toward day 3, the physical world begins to warp. This is a hallucination gateway. It starts in the corners of your eyes. Small, dark shapes scurrying across the floor. You turn to look, and there's nothing there, but as the hours tick by, those shapes get bolder. They stop scurrying and start standing still. They become the shadow people, tall, silent figures that stand in the doorway, just watching you. This isn't a ghost story. It's a sensory failure. Your brain is so desperate for visual data that it's misfiring, turning the shadows of your coat rack into a lurking predator. You try to laugh it off, but you can't because your emotional center, the amygdala, is now 60% more reactive than normal. You are a raw nerve. A spilled glass of water feels like a tragedy. A distant siren sounds like a personal threat. You are losing the ability to tell the difference between a thought and a physical reality. By the day 3, Gardner became highly irritable, lost his ability to perform simple tongue twisters, and began experiencing nausea. By day 5, the janitor becomes a cannibal in a healthy brain. Cells called astrocytes act like janitors, cleaning up the waste from a day of thinking while you sleep. But you haven't given them any downtime. So the janitors get hungry. They stop cleaning the trash and start eating the office furniture. They begin consuming your healthy synapses, the actual physical connections that hold your memories and your personality. You start to forget simple things. Your mother's middle name, what you had for breakfast, how to tie your shoes. You are being eaten from the inside out by your own immune system because you forced it into a state of permanent emergency. By day 5, Gardner began experiencing vivid hallucinations, such as mistaking a street sign for a person and believing he was a famous football player. Day 7 is where the noise begins. It's not just visual anymore, it's auditory. You hear people whispering your name from empty rooms. You hear the TV playing even when it's unplugged. Your internal body temperature is plummeting because your hypothalamus has lost the ability to regulate heat. You're shivering in a warm room. Your speech has devolved into word salad, a string of random nouns and verbs that make sense in your head but come out as gibberish. You are functionally psychotic. You might think you're a secret agent, or you might think your skin is made of glass. Reality has completely detached. There is no more you left, only a vibrating, paranoid animal trapped in a dying machine. By day 7, Gardner began experiencing body tremors, significant speech slurs, and paranoia, where he started to believe people were conspiring against him. As we approached the final stretch, day 9, day 10, day 11, the body is in full-scale systemic collapse. Your heart rate is skipping beats. Your blood pressure is spiking to stroke-level heights. Your immune system is so depleted that a single bacteria from a dust mite could trigger a fatal infection. You aren't just tired, you are dying in slow motion. The final record setter, Randy Gardner, reached this point, but he was surrounded by doctors. You're alone. Your brain is now so riddled with toxic trash that it begins to short circuit. By the final stretch, Gardner's mental and physical state reached a total breakdown. At day 9, he suffered from fragmented thinking, blurred vision, and a loss of his sense of taste and smell. By day 10, he became increasingly paranoid and lost almost all control over his short-term memory, often forgetting what he was saying mid-sentence. And by day 11, he reached a state of expressionless apathy, failed a simple counting task by stopping at 65, forgetting the goal, and showed no alpha brain. Waves while his eyes were open. Then comes the final snap. It's not a dramatic explosion. It's a quiet exit. Your brain finally reaches the point of total neurological exhaustion. The electrical signals that tell your heart to beat and your lungs to expand simply stop. They don't have the energy to fire anymore. You feel a sudden, overwhelming coldness. You don't fall asleep. You lose consciousness as your organs go into a synchronized shutdown. Your knees buckle, your chin hits your chest, and you collapse to the floor. Congrats, the record is broken. But there is no one there to hand you a trophy. There is only the silence of a room where a heart has stopped beating because it was never allowed to rest. Sleep isn't just something you do. It's the tax you pay to stay alive. And the universe always collects its debt. If you're watching this at 3 a.m., take the hint. Close the app. Put the phone in the other room. Give your janitors time to work before they start looking at your memories like they're on the menu. And if you want to see what happens to your body if you only drank soda for a year, tell me in the comments, but first, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, unless you want to shadow people to keep you company tonight. But if you want to know what happens if you got stuck in a tight cave, then click the left video. Thanks for watching, and for the love of everything, go get some sleep.